Hi-oh YouTube, my name is Dexter and welcome to Dex Builds. For this project, we're working on Brightwing for Heroes of the Storm. Namely, like Kerrigan, Brightwing's Rework. I've never been too big on the little flying gecko here. I've never really enjoyed playing the flying gecko. The long and short of it is that I was never good at keeping my eyes on the map to heal an entire enemy team to show up where I needed to be when I needed to be there. It just I was really bad at it, and I also just didn't like how little health Brightwing could heal for. It's Brightwing's a support whose entire premise is allies in this radius get healed every 4 seconds, because that's my passive, Soothing Mist. Every 4 seconds, heal allies for, at level 1, 104 health. The Brightwing Rework aims to give her some extra solo support viability, while also maintaining her ability to split push pretty effectively. The current Brightwing scenario or setup is Brightwing's really good on teams that are self-sufficient. Let's say, for instance, you've got your team is comprised of Brightwing, Thrall, Blaze, Gul'dan, and I'm gonna go with Diablo because Diablo's pretty prevalent right now because every team seems to either have, or every game that I've played either bans Diablo or he's there. But a pretty self-sufficient team, Chromie can help them survive a little bit better. But Chromie, if Brightwing has to heal teammates that aren't self-sufficient, it's a lot harder to do for her because she can only heal once every 4 seconds. This rework aims to fix that, as well as give her some additional playmaking potential. Like, same thing with Kerrigan. I took a look at these talents at this rework yesterday, and I kind of like it. It's gonna make me want to play Brightwing a little bit more than I already do, but I don't know if that's enough to say I'm always gonna have her in my back pocket as a, I don't want to say panic pick, but she'll always be in my back pocket as something that I can potentially pull out. But her talents, her abilities are, her Soothing Mist also has an activatable effect where it'll remove any crowd control effect from a target, but it does not grant them unstoppable. All it does is remove crowd control effects in this area. It's got a 2-second cooldown, 2-second cooldown. That'd be fun to deal with. 120-second cooldown. My bad. It's got a 120-second cooldown, and just, it does not grant unstoppable. I cannot drive that idea home hard enough. If you remove one crowd control effect, there is absolutely nothing stopping the enemy team from applying a second one as soon as you hit your button. And it travels pretty quick. You hit that, and then you've got 2 minutes to wait before you can do that a second time. While it's down, it does not, it doesn't shut off your passive. Thank God. It'd be pointless to play Brightwing if it did. But that's your trait. Her other abilities haven't gotten changed a whole lot. They added in the ability for her flare, Arcane Flare, to proc Soothing Mist if it hits something in the center. They also increased the speed of the projectile. So, Arcane Flare, shoot a flare dealing 78 damage to enemies hit, and an additional 109 to enemies in the center of the ring. If a hero is hit in the center of the ring, Soothing Mist automatically triggers another pulse of healing energy? I don't know what it is. And it doesn't put your thing on cooldown, it just gives you an immediate pulse. It doesn't, if you time it right, you can get 2 pulses in one tick, basically. So, you see that yellow ring down here? That is how long it's going to take another healing pulse to trigger. So we fire that out, heal that dude for 208 health instead of 104 at level 1 if you're able to land that Arcane Flare. The Arcane Flare is also the other big reason why I never actually played Brightwing, because I couldn't land this thing to save my life. I was so fucking bad at it. But everything else I could do it's just landing the shots was hard for me. And it does not, hitting a target in the center of the ring does not trigger multiple instances of healing if you hit multiple heroes. I don't think that's going to count. Does that count? Okay, I don't count it for one. But if you're able to hit multiple people, I don't think it'll trigger an additional burst of healing for every hero hit. I think it's just if you hit a hero in the center ring of Arcane Flare, you'll get another burst of healing, which is how they're trying to help Brightwing solo support a little bit better. Her other abilities are Polymorph, where you turn someone into a crab. You turn them into a crab, and while they're in a crab, they move slower, they can't attack, and they can't use abilities. It doesn't last very long, but it shuts down really hard engage abilities or channel abilities, you know, just whatever. Whatever you need it to turn off, it'll turn off. And lastly, Pixie Dust. Increase target movement speed by 20% and grant them 25 spell armor for 3 seconds, meaning they take 25% less damage from spell damage. So if you're up against a full mage team, Pixie Dust is going to save your ass a lot, as well as allow your team to engage a little bit harder. Looks like that. It's kind of hard to see, but it looks like that. And then they get that big spirally ring around them. I really enjoy... I like these two aspects of Brightwing. It's Arcane Flare that I could never land. But now that it goes faster, I think I'll be able to do it. The other rework, or the other idea for this rework is help her maintain her identity as a split pusher, because Brightwing doesn't actually have a mount of her own. I mean, she does, but she can't mount normally. She can phase shift to a target after 2 seconds, which will let... They also gave this an added function where when you warp to a target, you'll heal them for 20% of their max health on arrival. Takes 2 seconds. It's a 2-second channel, but when you arrive, you heal a target for 20% of their max health, which is hardly a bad thing. How much health do you have, big guy? You're not going to tell me, are you? Nope. But yeah, 20% of their max health on arrival, global. And it's part of why Chromie's such a potent, it's part of why Chromie's so popular in higher levels of play when people know what they're doing and know where they should be. Brightwing can just show up to wherever it might be from across the map, or wherever she might be needed from across the map, and turn what might be an even numbers fight into an advantage, or turn a disadvantageous fight into even numbers, just by hitting the Z button. It takes 2 seconds to get there, and it's super telegraphed, because it's kind of hard. In the middle of a fight, it's kind of hard to not notice... oh, wait, I don't have it. Toggle cooldowns. In the middle of a fight, it's kind of hard to not notice this. That noise and that visual effect. But, yeah, so let's go over her talents real quick. I've done enough yammering about her new abilities. So let's go over talents real quick. I'm just going to bump myself up to level 20. If you're wondering how much health, Brightwing heals for every 4 seconds. She heals 220 health at level 20. So it basically doubles the healing at level 20 and then some. It's like it's around 106% roughly. Or 104% roughly. No, 105. Because 105 would be 200... 105% of 104 would be 220, and that's just shy of it. So, or at least I think that's how that works. I could be wrong. I'm bad at math. I can't stress how bad I am at math. But the talents at level 1 are Greater Polymorph. Increase Polymorph's range by 30%. Hero takedowns also instantly refresh the cooldown of Polymorph. There's a lot of really aggressive talents that they're giving Brightwing now. That's the start of one of many, but it's interesting. I don't know why it's saying life restored, but okay. Yeah, why are you guys saying life restored? What is going on here? Doesn't matter, let's just leave them alone. But yeah, Greater Polymorph, increase the range, so I want to see how big that range would actually be. That's pretty decent. That's a decent polymorph range. Boop. I would much rather go with Hypershift, but I'll talk about the other ones too. Hypershift increases phase shift's healing by an additional 10% of the target's max health. Additionally, enemy minions that die near you reduce phase shift's cooldown by 2 seconds. So it's pushing for a split push build. If you take Hypershift, you can split push pretty effectively right from the get-go. I kind of wish it was a level 4 instead of level 1, because I'd like to be able to take minion camps as well as blink around the entire map as for a joke. But Hyper Shift is really good if you want to play Brightwing in the way that she currently is being played, which is, like I said, split push and then show up to team fights whenever an objective breaks out. And then Pixie Charm is Bribe, but gain 1 stack of Bribe when an enemy minion dies, and 5 stacks when hitting an enemy in the center of enemy hero with the center of Arcane Flare. You can have 80 stacks maximum, so you can buy 1 Bruiser camp that has 4 enemies in it. I mean, that's the amount that you can buy. I really like Fate or Hyper Shift. I really like it. It just, if you want to play Brightwing as split pusher, you can do that. This will set you up pretty much for the rest of the game as a split pusher, but also allow you to show up with more of an impact when you are needed, because it takes 2 seconds, sure, to get there, but you also heal the target for 30% of their max health. Kind of like Alexstrasza in dragon form, but you don't have to turn into a giant dragon on a 150-second cooldown. You can warp to someone every 60 seconds. Or shorter if you kill minions in the lane. I don't see how any of these are a bad choice, but my preference would be Hyper Shift. I also really like Dream Shot because it increases the range of the flare, and hitting an enemy hero with Arcane Flare reduces its cooldown to 2 seconds, not by 2 seconds. It puts it on a 2-second cooldown. It knocks off 4 seconds off your cooldown. So let's say we fire a shot, and then we hit the dude. We can fire a second one, and we hit that guy. Then we fire another one. Then we fire another one. At longer range, and the faster since the projectile goes a lot faster, I'm able to get them out a lot more consistently. So this will help you heal your team a little bit more potent, or be a little bit more of a potent healer. Cause, am I healing that dude too? No, okay. It'll let you be more of a potent healer if you're able to consistently land dream shots. I like that one, but I also really like Magic Spit. I'm still gonna go with Hyper Shift. The other talents are Unstable Anomaly. Increases polymorph slow by an additional 15%, so it slows them by 40%? 40% for 1.5 seconds. When it times out, they explode for damage equal to 2% of all heroes' health. I just don't know if it applies to them as well. Okay, it does. Good. So 2% of the target's max health. So if you want to go for Playmaker crowd control, you can with Greater Polymorph and Unstable Anomaly. I just kind of wish 2% of their max health was a little bit higher for an ability on such a long cooldown. And then lastly, Magic Spit. Increase basic attack range by 1.1. Basically the same range. If you take Magic Spit, you'll get the same range as good old Remy Janer. Jimmy Laner. Win Laner. James Eugene Rayner. I'll stop calling him all those different names eventually, but it's not today. You'll get Rayner's attack range, as well as lowering the cooldown on Soothing Mist by 5 seconds every time you shoot an enemy hero with your increased max range. So I really like Dream Shot and I like Magic Spit. The one I would go with really depends on how much healing your team needs from you specifically. If, like I said, if you have a super self-sufficient team, if you've got like 7 Thralls on your team and 2 Blazes and a Gul'dan, you don't really need to take Dream Shot. It would help a whole hell of a lot, but Magic Spit would let you remove any crowd control that you might be facing faster and more efficiently. Or not more efficiently, it'd let you be able to do it more often. More frequently, that's what I'm looking for. I like Magic Spit, but it really is based on what your team composition is. If your team doesn't need you to heal them all that much, you're better off with Magic Spit. If your team does need you to heal them, Dream Shot's the way to go. Neither of these are bad talent. Like, none of these are bad talents. It's just I prefer Dream Shot or Magic Spit. And then level 7 talents, Sticky Flares. Enemy heroes hit by Arcane Flare have their movement speed slowed by 20% for 3 seconds. It'll increase the slow to 40% if they are hit by the center of the explosion. So if you took a Dream Shot, you've got more incentive to take Sticky Flare because you'll slow people for longer, so you can land more flares to get them slowed for longer, to land more flares, to get more healing, to get more flares, to get more healing, to get more slow, to get more flares, to get more healing. You see how this feeds into itself really quickly? Yeah. It's pretty decent. Peekaboo, on the other hand, combines both the old talent called Peekaboo, and I think it was called Hyper. I think it was the old Hyper Shift talent, or no, it was called Phase Shield or something like that. Basically, it combines two of Brightwing's oldest, most popular talents. It was pretty much a toss-up between those two at this level. You could either take Peekaboo or you take Phase Shield, where when you'd arrive, or you'd blink to someone with your teleport, when you arrive, you'll reveal the area, and you'd also give them, or you'd give them a shield. This one just combines the two. But Phase Shift with Peekaboo. After phase shifting to an ally, grant both Brightwing and her phase shift target a 735-point shield and reveals a large area around them for 5 seconds. So, I believe the shield lasts for 5 seconds, as does the ability to reveal the area. And I don't know if it travels with the dude that I blinked to, but there you go. So that area, that radius around that dude is what would be revealed. So if you're up against a Valera or a Samuro or a Nova or a Zeratul, or really you just don't want to go in alone, you don't want to go in blind, you just take Peekaboo and blink in. But the other talent that I'm a big fan of is Critical Mist. If Soothing Mist removes a disabling effect from an ally, heal them for 349 health, which is pretty solid. If you're up against a lot of crowd control, this will get you a little bit of extra health. I don't know if it applies per disabling effect on a target. They'll get more health because I can't really test that here, but I can dream. But I like Sticky Flare or Peekaboo. Critical Mist is good. It really is if your team does not have any really self-sufficient heroes. You'd take the other talent and you take Magic Spit, and then you take Critical Mist. But if you do have self-sufficient teams, you're fine with taking either Sticky Flare or Peekaboo. But I mean, you're fine taking Peekaboo whenever. You can take Peekaboo whenever the hell you so desire. If you want to take Peekaboo, if you're on the friggin' smallest map of the game, if you're on Tomb of the Spider Queen, you can take Peekaboo and you'll still do fine. It'll still be a-okay. It's hardly a bad talent, but I like Sticky Flares. And then her ultimates haven't changed. I mean, they have a little bit. Emerald Wind lost its bonus healing on, Sorry, I'm really thirsty right now. Emerald Wind used to give you increased healing from your Soothing Mist. I believe it was 10% extra healing. It's lost that, but everything else about it is still the same. You activate it and you knock everybody back after half a second, and deal damage to them. Which it's a decent chunk of damage too. At level 20, it's a decent chunk of damage. Blink Heal is on a 9-second cooldown and blinks. You just blink to a target and you heal them. That's what it does. So if you're up against a lot of engagement heroes, you can shut down their engagements by using Emerald Wind. If you're up against pretty much single target, they want to delete one person at a time, I think you can get away with taking Blink Heal. Like, if you're up against a bunch of auto attackers, you can take Blink Heal and make their job a little bit harder. But beyond that, Emerald Wind, they're both great choices. And I like how... Oh, wait, no, they don't heal. Never mind. Okay, I thought Emerald Wind and Blink Heal did the same number value, but no, 439 and 493 are different. It does 493 damage. This one heals for 439 health. I think for this, I don't know why I have Unstable Anomaly. I don't want Unstable Anomaly. I want Dream Shot. I also want Sticky Flare. I think I'd take Blink Heal in this scenario just to heal better. But I'm kind of weirded out by the level 20 upgrade for Emerald Wind, but I'll get to that when we get to level 20 talents, rather. All of these are decent. All of these are fine. Pixie Boost gives 40% movement speed that decays down to 20% over 3 seconds, which is hardly a bad thing. Because that gives you 20% for 3 seconds. So, basically, as it wears off, it goes down to 20%, and then after it wears off, you're back down to 20. It's just a speed boost. It's just a speed boost. It's just a quick steroid, and it's great. Safety Dust increases Pixie Dust's duration by 1 second. Brightwing heals all allies with an active Pixie Dust for 25% more. Which comes in real handy later because they removed a talent that Brightwing used to get called Bouncy Dust at level 16, where it would, if you would cast safety, or if you cast Pixie Dust on an ally, it would bounce to another nearby ally, and they'd both get the effects of whatever you put onto it. But they removed that in favor of a level 20 talent that we'll go over later. This one's still really strong. Just keep in mind that it pairs with a level 20 talent very, very well. And then lastly, Pixie Power. Reduces the cooldown of Pixie Dust by 3 seconds and increases the spell armor granted by 25%. So, take it down to a 7-second cooldown. That's for a buff that's active for 3 seconds. That makes them take 50% less damage. Against magic damage specifically. Brightwing used to get, I think it was called Shield Dust. It basically just made it so that anything that you would throw at a target, or basically it would make Bouncy or Pixie Dust give the target flat armor instead of just magic armor. Excuse me, for the same amount of magic armor that it would, yeah, it basically just turned magic armor into regular armor. 25% regular armor. So that's how that used to work, but they got rid of that in favor of just pushing Brightwing to be an kind of anti-mage support, which I'm not against. I'm really not. I like that idea, but it also is super easy to counter Brightwing because you can just take auto attackers and, like, I don't want to say Illidan because you can polymorph Illidan, but if you take a lot of hyper aggressive dive heroes and just I don't want to say stagger your approach, but if you stagger your approach a little bit, if she takes Emerald Wind, you just you bait out Emerald Wind, and then the rest of your team goes in, and just hope to God that you can kill her. But I like all of these. I think I would take Safety Dust because it makes doing what you want to do a little bit easier at level 20 for the talent that I would take. But none of them are bad. It's all determined by what you want your team to be able to do. If you're in an organized situation, if you're able to consistently communicate with your team and have them actually do what you want, you can take Pixie Boost and just have one guy run at Mach speeds for a couple seconds. It also does apply to yourself. You can cast that on yourself too. So if you're under siege, you can skedaddle. You can get the fuck out of Dodge whenever you so desire. If you take Pixie Boost, because it's a potent speed boost. It is a potent speed boost. But I really like Safety Dust or Pixie Power. That's just me. I like Safety Dust more than I like the other ones. So we're going to take Safety Dust. Hyper Shift, Dream Shot, Sticky Flare, Blink Heal, taking Safety Dust. Hush! At level 16. Enemies hit by the center of Arcane Flare are silenced for 1 second and deal 25% less damage for 3 seconds. So you silence somebody, and you can also lower their damage output afterwards. It's not bad, it's just kind of odd. It's anti-mage again, but at the same... it's not just anti-mage, it's anti-any damage dealer. Criterize also makes a return. While polymorph, the target's armor is reduced by 25, meaning they take 25% more damage. And Phase Out, which is Brightwing's own version of Ice Block, which I don't really understand why she gets it, but she does. It's on a 20-second cooldown and only lasts for 0.75 seconds. 3/4 of a second. But, much like Kerrigan's Chrysalis, you can use it to get out of a lot of terrible, terrible shenanigans. Let's say you've got a Pyroblast coming at you. You're staring down this giant sun that's barreling down towards you. Oh, look at that. It didn't hurt. And then you can do that 20 seconds later. But Criterize wouldn't be bad if you took Greater Polymorph and Unstable Anomaly, because it'll let you and your team capitalize on that one guy that can't do anything anymore. Is there another? No, there wasn't another, polymorph talent. There's only 3 of them, which is interesting. At level 1s, 4, and 16. But I don't see how a phase out could go badly for you, especially if you have blink heal. So let's say entire enemy team dives me. I hit phase out just to get away from a lot of their damage, then I blink away. And I can blink to any friendly organic target, but I can't blink to walls. So, and keep in mind, every 20 seconds you can do that. It's not going to save you from everything. If the enemy team knows how to stagger their abilities, knows how to time their abilities, then it's not going to keep you safe from really anything. You'll dodge one really big crowd control effect and then maybe get hit by another one as soon as it's over. But it's only on a 20-second cooldown, so I don't see how that's ever going to be a bad thing. But if you can keep distance from people, Hush also wouldn't be terrible, or Critterize. They're really not bad. This one is if you really don't want to get hurt. These 2 are if you know you can stay safe. And this one's really only if you take level 1 talent. And then lastly, we've got level 20 upgrades. The Pixie... Blink Heal. Blink Heal turns people invisible. Grants stealth to Brightwing. If Blink Heal is cast on an allied hero, they are also granted stealth. While stealth by invisible friends, all heroes who are invisible heal for 4-4 health a second and are unrevealable for 5 seconds. Remaining stationary for at least 1.5 seconds grants invisible while stealth. So your hero portrait disappears, basically. I want to know if that applies to me. Boop. And I also want to know how long the stealth lasts for. Oh! It just lasts forever. Gotcha. So if I sit here, this new outline on my screen means I'm invisible. Means heroes cannot see me. No one knows that I'm here. And so while that's active, I get health regen. Basically. 44 health regen a second. Which isn't bad. And additionally, unrevealable for the first 0.5 seconds. If you're up against like a Tracer or a Lunara, or heaven forbid another Brightwing, and that has taken Peekaboo, it doesn't matter, because those heroes probably will have taken Tracer rounds or what's the other one? Natural Perspective. So you won't be able to get anything out of it, but you can dream. You can dream. The upgrade for Emerald Winds, they've changed. I forget what it used to be called, but it's now called Intensive Winds. And you can read the tooltip right there. Reduce Emerald Wind cooldown, but increase cost. Permanently reduce Emerald Wind's cooldown to 5 seconds, but increase its mana cost to 200 mana. A third of your mana is gone every 5 seconds if you are up against an entirely dive composed team. So if you're up against a Greymane, an Illidan, a Diablo, a Blaze, and fuck it, let's say a Rhaegar, and you really don't like them, you take Emerald Wind at level 10 and then Intensive Wind at level 20 and just blow them the fuck away every 5 seconds if you get to level 20. It's ridiculous. A 5-second cooldown for an ultimate is ridiculous. Additionally, there's Speedy Dragon, where you gain 20% movement speed, so you move as fast as Lunara does. Or Fairy Protector. Activate to apply Pixie Dust to all nearby heroes, which is why I was saying level 13, Safety Dust is my favorite, because everybody around you will get the Fairy Protector if you're in the middle of a team fight, as well as increasing the duration that the Safety Dust lasts for, so you can activate it whenever you want to get more healing for your team. Additionally, if you're able to land Dream Shots effectively, you can get a couple... I think you can get 2 extra pulses of healing out of it if you take Dream Shot and aim it properly. But yeah, that's the build I would take for Brightwing. Either Invisible Friend, whatever ultimate you take, whatever ultimate that you take, you've got real choices to take that upgrade. You can either make yourself faster, or you can take it or you can take the upgrade to make your allies more durable, or make all your allies more durable. Really, none of these are bad choices. they've all got their uses. Speedy Dragon is if you want to still be a split pusher at level 20, which I don't recommend, but you can do it if you want. But the rest of it, I think this is the build that people would go with. You might be able to swap out Phase Out for Criterize if you take the Greater Polymorph and the Unstable Anomaly, just to have a basically polymorph build. But the rest of it sounds like it'd be pretty effective to me. Admittedly, I haven't actually tested this or the Kerrigan rework, but they sound effective. And that guy's just going to stay invisible, isn't he? I'm pretty sure. But yeah, there we go. That's the Brightwing rework. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you have anything that I could work on, feel free to leave it in a comment in the comment box below. But for the rest of you ramblers, I will catch you all next time. For anybody who's new, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. But if not, then carry on your merry way. But I will see all of you next time on another Dex builds, which I don't know what it might be. I might do Warframe here soon, because I know the Orb Valis is coming out soon, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm going to go. Hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you all next time. This has been a ton of fun for me. Peace out.